Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Comic Book Nostalgia. I'm CB Nostalgia, and I thought we could talk a little bit about Young Justice. Well, over this past weekend, I had the pleasure of going to Rose City Comic Con. And like typical cons, there were a ton of celebrity guests. And one of those guests was the one and only Khary Payton. I got a couple minutes to talk with the guy, and I have to say it was a pretty amazing conversation, and I really wanted to share it with you. Now, first and foremost, I'm just going to say this flat out. Khary was, beyond a shadow of a doubt, one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life, at least in a convention format. He was completely excited to talk about the show, the future of Young Justice, getting it renewed, and all of those details. And, even beyond all of that, he went out of his way to make my rather awestruck daughter feel welcome at the booth. Now, like I was saying, we took a couple minutes to talk about the future of Young Justice, and these details were pretty interesting to me. Now, first and foremost, we talked about the renewal and what's going on. And although he wouldn't give any behind-the-scenes details, some of the things he said did make a lot of sense. He made it pretty clear. The show has been through this before, and we survived it and came out on the other side. And that's what's going to happen again. He seemed very confident we would eventually get a Season 5, but he did make it pretty clear to me that there might be a significant wait. Sometimes these things take time, and it appears to me fans need to be prepared for a little bit of wait before we finally get any kind of news from Warner Bros. Discovery. Now, I did try to pry about some of the behind-the-scenes shenanigans going on over at HBO Max and Warner Bros. Discovery, and Khary is a true professional and wouldn't reveal his cards. But his excitement for the future of the show and what's going to happen next was pretty clear. One of the main things from the show he wanted to point out was how Darkseid is always working in the background, and how Greg originally did have a 5-year plan that clearly incorporated Darkseid, meaning this potential 5th season would bring Darkseid finally into the light and give fans the showdowns I think we've been looking forward to for almost 5 years. And give fans the showdown they've been looking forward to for over a decade. He also made it pretty clear how proud he is to play the Aqualad character. Now, how long of a wait we're going to have to give for the next season of Young Justice, it's unclear right now. There's still a lot of shuffling going on behind the scenes, and I think fans need to set their expectations properly. At this point, with no DC fandom, I don't expect any updates for the show until sometime, honestly, probably next year. We do have New York Comic Con coming up shortly, and there is a possibility of something happening there, but I did notice nobody from the Young Justice crew is on the schedule for DC, and we have confirmed Titans and Doom Patrol will show up, so if Young Justice was going to be there, we would know by now. Given what Khary said about being patient, I suspect it will be this time next year before we finally get any news. Whether that means next year's San Diego Comic Con, or even next year's New York Comic Con, we'll have to wait and see. Either way, seeing his enthusiasm for the future of the show gave me even more hope. And I also got a pretty great autograph, so I wanted to say to Khary, thank you very much. Obviously, we're the place to cover everything Young Justice, so if you want to get all of your Young Justice news and updates, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for all the updates. But until we know more, what do you guys think? How long do you think we're going to have to wait to get a Season 5 announcement for Young Justice? And do you feel like this timeline is limited, and that the show could just die on the vine if we don't get a renewal soon enough? I have to say, I really don't think so. But tell me what you think in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure you hit like, click subscribe, and if you don't ring that bell, you won't get any updates. Peace.